In this video, we look at the most streamed albums in a single week on Spotify. Eternal Sunshine by Ariana Grande. It was released on March 8, 2024 as Ariana's 7th studio album. It features hit singles like Yes and We Can't Be Friends, Wait For Your Love. The album now has 1.5 billion streams on Spotify. Donda by Kanye West. It was released on August 29, 2021 as Kanye's 10th studio album. It features hit singles like Hurricane and Off the Grid. The album now has 2.8 billion streams on Spotify. Thank You Next by Ariana Grande. It was released on February 8, 2019 as Ariana's 5th studio album. It features huge singles like the title track and 7 Rings. It currently has 7.6 billion streams on Spotify. Divide by Ed Sheeran. It was released on the 3rd of March 2017 as Ed Sheeran's 3rd studio album. It features hit singles like Castle on the Hill, Shape of You, and Perfect. It is the 2nd most streamed album on Spotify with 14.7 billion total streams. Sour by Olivia Rodrigo. It was released on May 21, 2021 as Olivia's debut studio album. It features hit singles like Driver's License, Deja Vu, and Good For You. The album now has 12.1 billion total streams on Spotify. Hollywood's Bleeding by Post Malone. It was released on September 6, 2019 as Post Malone's 3rd studio album. It features hit singles like Circles, Wow, and Sunflower. The album now has 12.5 billion total streams on Spotify. Red, Taylor's Version by Taylor Swift. It was released on November 12, 2021. It is the re-recording of Taylor's 4th studio album, Red. It features hit singles re-recorded from the album, including the #1 hit Oh Too Well 10-minute version. The album now has 4.9 billion streams on Spotify. Her Loss by Drake and 21 Savage. It was released on November 4, 2022 as a collaborative album by Drake and 21 Savage. It features hit singles like Rich Flex and Spin 'Bout You. The album now has more than 3 billion streams on Spotify. Speak Now, Taylor's Version by Taylor Swift. It was released on July 7, 2023 as a re-recording of Taylor's 3rd studio album, Speak Now. It features from the vault tracks like I Can See You, which was a #1 hit. It now has 2.3 billion streams on Spotify. For All the Dogs by Drake. It was released on October 6, 2023 as Drake's 8th studio album. It features hit singles like First Person Shooter and IDGAF. The album now has 2.5 billion streams on Spotify. Beer Bongs and Bentleys by Post Malone. It was released on April 27, 2018 as Post's 2nd studio album. It features hit singles like Rockstar, Psycho, and Better Now. The album now has 11.6 billion streams on Spotify. Harry's House by Harry Styles. It was released on May 20, 2022 as the 3rd studio album by Harry Styles. It features hit singles like As It Was and Late Night Talking. The album now has 7.6 billion streams on Spotify. Utopia by Travis Scott. It was released on July 28, 2023 after a 5-year wait since his last album, Astroworld. It features hit singles like Meltdown and Fiend with Playboi Carti. The album now has 3.5 billion streams on Spotify. Nadie Sabe Lo Que Va A Pasar Mañana by Bad Bunny. It was released on October 13, 2023 as Bad Bunny's 5th studio album. It features hit singles like Where She Goes and Monaco. The album is now sitting on 3.6 billion streams on Spotify. Certified Lover Boy by Drake. It was released on the 3rd of September 2021 as Drake's 6th studio album. It features hit singles like Way Too Sexy and Fair Trade. The album now has 5 billion streams on Spotify. Scorpion by Drake. It was released on June 29, 2018 as Drake's 5th studio album. It features #1 singles like God's Plan, Nice for What, and In My Feelings. It now has more than 10 billion streams on Spotify. 1989 Taylor's Version by Taylor Swift. It was released on October 27, 2023, as Taylor's fourth re-recorded album. It features the re-recording of her biggest hits, including new singles like Is It Over Now. The album now has 3.5 billion streams on Spotify. Un Verano Sin Ti by Bad Bunny. It was released on the 6th of May 2022 as Bad Bunny's fourth studio album. It features hit singles like Titi Me Pregunto and Me Porto Bonito. It is the most streamed album on Spotify, with 16.2 billion total streams. Midnights by Taylor Swift. It was released on October 21, 2022 as Taylor's 10th studio album. It features hit singles like Anti-Hero, Lavender Haze, and Karma. The album now has 8.8 billion streams on Spotify. The Tortured Poets Departments by Taylor Swift. It was released on April 19, 2024 as Taylor's 11th studio album. It's a 31-track album that is breaking Spotify records left and right. The album now has 1.2 billion streams just a week after its release.